First of our top story, former External Affairs Minister and senior BJP leader Yashwant Sinha has given an exclusive and an explosive interview to India Today's Karan Thapar. Now, two big points from that exclusive interview. First up, declare the Pakistan High Commissioner Abdul Basit as persona non grata and send him back. And secondly, he says, call off the NSA talks. The question is Prime Minister Modi listening to his senior colleague?
Yesterday, it emerged that the Pakistan High Commissioner has invited top leaders of Hurriyat to meet with Mr. Sartaj Aziz in Delhi. Now, as you know, we abruptly called off Foreign Secretary level talks because the High Commissioner had met with Hurriyat. Many people now believe that this invitation to Hurriyat to meet Sartaj Aziz is actually not just defiance, it's a sort of slap in India's face from Pakistan.
You have mentioned, I had mentioned to you earlier that Pakistan is indulging in provocations of various kinds. Look at the speech which their High Commissioner made in Delhi on the 14th of August, their Independence Day, and emphasized once again the centrality of the Jammu and Kashmir issue. He was summoned to the Foreign Office in Delhi about the border ceasefire violations. And what did he say when he came out? That he in turn had protested to India about 70 violations of the ceasefire that we allegedly committed. Read his interview in the Hindustan Times today. And finally, the invitation to Hurriyat to come here is defiance all along. And I have said it earlier also, that this calls for not only calling off the dialogue or the talks that we are planning, even at this late stage, just because Sartaj Aziz has not boarded the flight to Delhi yet, but we should take serious note of the activities and actions of the Pakistani High Commissioner in Delhi, declare him persona non grata and send him back to Pakistan.
Absolutely none of that has happened. Instead, there is total silence from the government, and sources, often said to be at the very highest level, are saying the government is determined to go ahead.
I have seen such reports, and I would expect that even at a very late stage, the government will reconsider its decision.
You're still hoping that even now the government will call off the talks?
I am hoping that they will call off the talks in view of the provocations that Pakistan has provided.
In fact, you went one step further. You said they should declare the Pakistan High Commissioner for his series of provocations persona non grata and send him home.
Yes, yes. I am absolutely convinced such a person is not behaving diplomatically. He is behaving politically, and that's not part of his remit.
And if the Indian government doesn't do what you're hoping, A, call off the talks at this stage, and B, send the High Commissioner back home, what will that be proof of in your eyes?
No, perhaps, I am not part of the government. I am not privy to all the information that they have. But, we'll await, I will personally await if the talks are held, the outcome of the talks and see what happens.
But then it will be in your eyes a weakness on India's part going into talks, not strength, not principle.
Pakistan has misused every such opportunity. And the United Nations General Assembly session is coming.
Maliha Lodi, the ambassador, has already raised it there as well.
Already raised it. Now I'll keep my fingers crossed about what happens in the UNGA.
Meanwhile, the only step the Indian government seems to have taken today with regard to the invitation from the Pakistan High Commissioner to Hurriyat to meet Sartaj Aziz is to first put them under house arrest in the morning and then mysteriously release them 2 or 2.5 hours later. What do you make of that sort of flip-flop?
Let's look at the next step of the government of India.
You mean it could be even more perplexing and confusing?
Let's see.
So we're getting to a stage where you're actually bemused, befuddled, perplexed, but also deeply disconcerted and worried by the way the Indian government is handling and responding to things.
They must be having some reason for doing what they are doing. I am not privy to that.
But it's not apparent to anyone.
But I would like to make this point to you very firmly that this is a complete departure from the line that Mr. Vajpayee had adopted. There is a complete departure from the line that the BJP had until last year.
you.